Hey there, I know you all are using function in your daily life, but do you know what is the considered side effect that one function can have that can impact its overall performance? Doesn't matter which language you are from. If you don't know or if you have any doubt, you are in the right place. So in this video, I'll be talking about the concept of side effect that one function can have. I will show you a lot of examples so that at the end of this video, you will not be having any single doubt. So this is Gaurav. Without wasting any further time, let's jump right in. Alright, so now let's understand the concept of side effect. So side effect is something that makes our function impure. And it is something that impacts the function's ability to perform its task. That's simple. Now you might be thinking that how a function can be impure, right? Yes, a function can be pure or impure based on our implementation. And side effect is something that is making the pure function impure, right? So now let's see some example from where we will understand all the concept. Now before understanding the impure function, let's see how pure function looks like and what are the properties that it should have. So now let me show you one simple function which is a pure function. Here we go. This function is a pure function. How? So let's understand few properties that one pure function should have. The first property is saying there should not be any external dependency in pure function definition, and it's not using any third-party dependency that can change the state of the program. I will come to the state concept later. Let's see what second point is saying. And it is saying for same argument, always it will produce same result in any context. So second point we can easily prove. Let's try to save it and try to run it. So in order to run it, I'm using node and this file. So if I run it, I'm not getting anything because it's returning something. I have to console it. Cool. Now if I again run it, I'm getting 30. If I run it again, every time I'm getting 30, right? That is what second argument is saying. Here I'm passing 10 and 20, so it will always produce 30. Okay. So that is what second point is saying. I think it is clear. Let's understand the first point now. It is a little bit tricky. So what is the state of the program? So if I have to tell you what is my current state, then currently I am delivering content, I am speaking, I am giving you some demo, right? That is my state. After a few minutes when it is done, I will not be doing this. So my state will be changed. Maybe I will go for sleep, I will go for dinner, whatever. Like if I talk about the room where I am right now, that's the temperature, right? And these temperatures keep on changing. That is also one state, the temperature. I can raise my volume, I can decrease my volume. So that is also kind of state which is nothing but the volume. So likewise we have lot of state, and state nothing but the data which are keep on changing, which are manipulating, which is giving you different result. All those data is nothing but my state. So it is saying there should not be any dependency that can change the state of the program. Okay. So if function will follow these two conditions, then we can call it as a pure function. Now I think you got the idea. So now let me write one more function. Let me write the same function and then I will change a little bit. Let me just comment it out. Instead of get sum, I will write, let's say, show sum. And here also I have to write the same name. Let's say I am passing the same variable, and here I don't need console.log. Rather I will be using it here instead of return. Complete the bracket. That's it. If I save it now, if I run it, it is always giving 30, right? So what is this function? Is it a pure function? So if you are thinking it's a pure function, then you are not right. Why? Because we have added one side effect. What is that? This line. This is a side effect that we have added. Why? Because console.log, it is nothing but an external dependency. So we are depending on something which can be changed, which can change the state of the program. Here it will change the state of the console object. That is why even though it is giving 30 always, which is supposed to give, but still it's not a pure function, it's impure function because of this side effect. So likewise a function can have many side effects. Okay, so let me give you one more example, and you have to tell me now whether it's a pure function or not. Okay, here we go. Let me just comment it out. Okay, you can see here we have a function called sumRandom, because it is adding two number along with some random number here, and it is consoling it, right? So can you tell me whether it's a pure function or not? Do you have any side effect here? I know you will tell it's not a pure function because we have added this console dog, which is a side effect. But okay, let me do one thing. Let's just return it from here, and let's have console.log over here. So now whether it's a pure function? No. Why? Because if I try to run it, it will give you different result every time. It is not giving you same result even though we are passing same argument, right? That is what is violating the second condition. It should produce same result in any context for same argument. Okay, so that is why this function is not a pure function and it is having side effect. So if I just have this console.log and this one as well, so can you tell me what are the different side effects that we have added here? Definitely one is console.log, right? It is an external dependency. The other one is the math.random function. It is giving us different result, right? Also this math.float, it is also a different external dependency that we are dependent on, right? That is why this function is norm or a pure function. Okay, let me give you one more example. So now I'm giving you a lot of examples so that the concept of pure function or side effect should be clear to you. Let me give you one more example, and that is a little bit tricky. I want you to answer it. Okay, so here I am having a function. I have to call it. Let's just call this function, and let's say I'm writing here John. Okay, let me just print it as well. Let's see. So it is giving hello John. So can you tell me whether this function is impure function or not? Is it having any side effect? Because I can't see any console.log and I'm having same result again and again, and I don't see any math.random like this, but still it's an impure function because we're using one variable which has defined outside this function in a different scope. What happens if someone will change the value from hello to hi? In that case, we'll be having different result. So now again I can say that we are dependent on some external dependency that can change the state, right? That is why this function is also having side effect because of this variable, and it is also an impure function. So one important thing, for pure function it should only use the argument that we are passing, and it can have local argument which is local to this function. Let's say if I'm having latex, okay, but the moment it is using something from outside, then again this function is now dependent on that, and if there is any changes will happen, then this function will be affected. That is what it's saying. The ability of its performance will be compromised because of side effect. Okay, so now whenever we are adding Ajax or we are doing any asynchronous stuff, we are calling some API, doing DB query, all those are nothing but side effect. So now the main question comes, is it like side effect is something that we should avoid and we should go for pure function? Is it like side effect bad? See, there is nothing like it. Side effect is something which is important and we have to do it. Okay, there is a situation, let's say, where you have to work on asynchronous coding. You have to query on DB, you have to call REST API. So it is just to let you aware that there should not be any unnecessary side effect. So whenever you are adding side effect, you should be aware that I'm adding it. If it is not needed, just remove it. Okay, so here in this situation, let's say there is a scenario where I can have this variable over here. So now it is not a side effect anymore, right? So now it is using the argument we are passing and have some local variable. That is fine. So that is the main thing. There should not be any unnecessary side effect. So from now onward, you have to check whenever you're implementing a function, are you adding any unnecessary side effect? If yes, check whether it can be avoided. If yes, go for it. Okay, that will make the function better. So I think that is the main context of this video. I hope you got the idea of side effect and function. So a function can have many side effects, which is making this function impure, that can impact ability of its performance. But yeah, so we have to be aware whenever we are adding side effects. So that's all for this video. See you in the next video. Take care. Tata. Bye bye.